to do 2 in about an hour and a half. So that's probably how long the stream will be. Right now I'm just working on getting the preform before I forge down the tanks. This is a good camera angle. Can you guys see? That's the preform there. I do hand forge it all. I forge 2 at a time, so I don't waste time waiting for the other one to heat up. It's because I don't have a power hammer. If I had one, I'd love to use it. And I would love to get one sometime, but they're just expensive. Down the tang. There are some things I'd still want to use a hand hammer for, even if I had a power hammer. This is one of them. It's not that much faster on a power hammer. Plus with this I can control how I want the taper to look better. I am not Thor, although my dad actually did want to name me Thor. Almost dropped it. I'm trying to get the tang to the thickness I want it to be, and then I'll start tapering it the other way more. Here, I'll show you what these will look like when they're done. This is what the final product will look like. I made this one in a YouTube video I posted about a week ago. But I'm trying to make this batch a little bit bigger than that one. getting there slowly. It's really hot in here once the forge is running. My favorite's probably my kudos. I make those ones the most frequently, and I like the shape of the forging process. I've been making a lot of Nakiris lately though, they're pretty good too. Just a lot more height drawing out. I don't like that quite as much. I bring the taper to a point like this before I draw it out because as I squish this material down, it's going to widen out a bunch. Andrew likes to move around. There, maybe you guys can see that better now. The next heat, I'm going to draw down the heel with my crossbeam hammer. There'll be a few heats of that, but you can see all the marks there. Hello. Next heat, I'll do that on the other side. getting closer to where I want it to be there. There we go now, next heat up. Still with the same side though. I have a couple here that I've forged out already. So this is what I'm aiming for today, to forge those two the same as these. And these aren't the finished forging. I'll still have a little bit more refinement to do after, but I'm gonna do all that tomorrow before I heat treat them. You guys see the forging enough there? It's hard to tell from where I am. The anvil's close enough. Perfect. Thank you. The crossbeam leaves a lot of little marks that I don't want there to be on the finished plate, so I'm going to smooth them out with the big hammer. Switch it back around. Yeah, the chat phone. Mine is over here too. That's what I'm wondering. I think if I put it any lower though, you won't be able to see it. Drop forged. But gotta flip it around anyway, so it works out. Has anyone in here done some forging before? Where? Yeah, usually I just wear my earbuds with music in them because I like listening to music when I work. But right now I need to talk and stuff, but I could still wear little ones, but not today. If I was using the power hammer, I'd wear them though. pretty tired already from my forging the last few days, getting all this done. Hopefully got enough energy to finish these. I think I should be fine. Now that I've got these a little more even, I'll switch back to the cross beam, well, after the next heat, to draw them more aggressively. I got into it just because I really wanted to for a long time. So I saved some money and then got some blacksmithing tools. I just started with like some cheap files, a torch, and some fire bricks that I used to do my heat treating. And then I got like an angle grinder and stuff. Just started with stock removal, cutting up the shapes of knives, grinding them with the grinder, and then finishing it with the files and doing the heat treating. That's how I made my first few knives, and then just kept doing it from there. Found a place to rent this. I've got to switch hammers first here. Same thing on the other side. When you're using these, it's both easier and harder to control the way it moves, because you know it's going to move more in one direction, but if you hit it the wrong way, it's going to mess things up more and start things curving faster. But I know what I'm going to do on the next side to curve it back the way I want it to go. So the same, but the opposite on that side. Those lines are going that way, these ones are going that way. So kind of like cross-hatch. I'm going to turn down the forge a little bit to give myself a little more room to breathe between heats here. Plus, as I forge them thinner, they get hot faster. So see if this one's bent, and then after this you can check again. So all these lines going there on that side straightened up a little bit. It'll be easier to correct with when I switch back to the other hammer. And I will switch back to that other hammer now, because I alternate between using the cross beam to create those deep impacts and then smoothing them out with this to drop pretty quickly, but still controlling the shape. Getting there. A couple more keeps flat hammer before I switch back to drawing with the cross beam. Yeah, it is a pretty hot day today. I don't know exactly what it is, 20 something degrees, but with the forge running in here, it gets hot really fast. Plus the forge was running earlier today too, so it's already warm. I got it again. As it gets thinner, it's slower to forge out because the material doesn't move as much. There's not as much material under the hammer to move. So the material cools down faster and the material moves slower. So it gets a lot longer as it gets thinner. Longer time to forge them out. I'll show you what the final product's going to be for the new viewers here. One of these Nakiris. Really nice vegetable knife. Very hot. So it's starting to get closer, but if I compare it to these, it's still pretty narrow. So the height is getting close pretty quickly, but I need a lot more height to the blade. Switch back to the cross beam to draw it down. I'll be doing hits like this to move that material downwards towards the edge. I have one more heat flat on the other one. These are my two main forging hammers that I pretty much forge all my batches with. This is my crossbeam. It's a 3.5 pound, I believe. And then my main forging hammer is this dog's head hammer, and this one's 5 pounds. So sometimes I call it my power hammer because it's a pretty heavy hand hammer. It can move a lot of material quickly. Do that on the other side. Something cool about forging on an anvil is it's kind of like the anvil is a hammer and your hammer is a hammer. So when you hit it, a lot of the force goes through the anvil and then back up the anvil. So that means when you hit with your hammer, the anvil also hits with its surface up. So as you forge, you can get these like cupping effects because the anvil force rounds the blade because it hits on a bigger surface than your hammer hits down. So after just 2 heats giving height with the crossbeam, you can see how much wider that is already. I did a significant amount of work. Thank you. Hello. live forgings very often. The last one was last year, I think. But recently I've been back to making YouTube videos. So I've been trying to get my watch hours up because I'm getting close now. So doing a live again with my regular forging to get there. I woke the dog. What does that mean? Oh, from the forging? Yeah, that's how loud the audio is there. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure if there's a setup I could get that would have the audio better regulated. Yeah, very loud in here. Yeah, make a beat. Forging is actually going quite fast today. Like, these ones that I forged, getting pretty close to the dimensions now, which is pretty cool. Usually these do take me like an hour and a half to do them. Thank you. The anvil comes from Front Step Forge. It's not terribly old, maybe 6 years. I'm not sure exactly where they come from, where he gets them from, but he's in Edmonton, and I think he got them shipped overseas, a big container of them. But they're pretty good. It's a 100-pound anvil. It's a pretty good price for one of these. Yeah. This is pretty loud. Usually I am wearing hearing protection, but not on the live stream. I might grab them though. Some little earbuds. Here, I gotta check my phone battery too, make sure. Okay, it's pretty good. I might try plugging in my mic to see if the audio is a lot better. If the hammering isn't as loud from that. 1 second. Okay, here I'll plug in my mic, see, let me know if this sounds any better. Hello, sound better? Or can you hear anything? Okay, and I'll try with forging too. How does that sound? Was the forging a little bit less loud? Louder than before? Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to make it more balanced. I gotta turn the forge down again. Awesome. Now these are getting real thin, so they heat up very fast and cool down fast. But they're getting close to the size already. Here's another comparison. The one I'm working on versus the other one there. Pretty much. It's hard to compare because it's hot. But it's getting really close. I'll have to grab my ruler after this heat. This batch is going to a retailer in the US, and he asked for a specific dimension, so I got to make sure they're around that size. But I always can't remember where I put my ruler. I'm pretty sure I have 3 of them, and I can only find my plastic one, which doesn't really work for hot steel. Okay, I found one. So these are just under 60 by 170 millimeter. Now I need to get them to a little over 60 by 180. Oh, hey, how's it going, Ian? I gotta move the anvil again. It's walking me into this forge. Okay, I'll check this. That's about 60 by 170 as well. So these are all getting really close. The forging's been good. It's actually going really fast today. Like 43 minutes in, both these Nakiris are pretty much rough forged out, starting to do the more of the finer forging, but it's really hot. This anvil is very hot too. But I might be able to get all the refining forging on my other 4 ones here. Nice. Today. feel like I probably have enough energy to get there. Okay, I'll check the dimensions on this one too. Under 60, like 58 by 170, all very similar. I think I'll use the cross peen for a heat to draw them down faster. Yeah, you like started the stream and I went to go watch and it was already done. It's the camera, I'm doing it right-handed. I do want to train my left hand though. Maybe I'll stream that, learning how to forge with my left hand. That could be interesting. But I'm making these, the same one that I did in that YouTube video I posted recently. But just a little bit bigger, but the same otherwise. Nice distal taper. Just doing the heat this way to try to get that last length. One of the smiths I worked with for a few days was crazy with his ambidextrous forging. Like he was switching his hands mid-forging and not missing any hits. That was really cool. Check to make sure I didn't miss any messages here. I think I got everything. On this heat here, I'll aim for more of the height again. Don't want to hit too hard with this now though, because I'll make big dents that I won't be able to get out. So just gentle. Yeah, me too. It's pretty bad. I've been trying to even out with doing some like workouts in the shop after I'm done forging, but I don't think that's gonna work as well as just forging with both hands. But like, yeah, the difference in my shoulders and forearms is pretty crazy. I gotta tie my shoe. Ambidextrous foraging. Yeah. Are you doing any of your live streams anytime soon, Ian? It's been a while since I've tuned into one of those. Ah, gotta switch hammers again. I like how these are looking. Yeah, that was the forging one, right? Oh, okay, yeah. I might start doing these a little bit more frequently the next few weeks. I'm getting close to my watch hours for the YouTube partnership program, and I don't want to make another big video because the last one took me a whole week to do. But might just try to get the last of the watch hours through doing some streams. I've only ever done forging streams though. I don't know what else would be interesting. It'd be hard to talk while doing the grinding. Hello, how's it going? These two Nakiris are getting really close now. I think I've pretty much hit the dimensions. I'll check again. 60, 175, not quite on the length. Here, I'll show you guys another on one of my cool upcoming projects I have going on here. Pretty excited for this. This is a cool custom order. Doesn't look the nicest right now because I'm in the middle of grinding and etching it. But it's a Apex Core Damascus clad blade. It's all rusty right now, but I brought out some of the pattern in the scale there, and you can see the pattern a little bit from this etch to just check if the core is aligned. I don't have it fully exposed, but I have enough material in the edge to get it there. Yeah, this one's like I think it's 235 millimeters. It was supposed to be a little bit heavier, but it's ended up being pretty light blade, but I've got a nice distal taper on it too. Real thin at the tip though. This tip is, once it's fully ground, is pretty much gonna disappear. Thank you. Outside of blacksmithing, favorite things, probably camping and hiking, outdoor stuff, biking, running. I like that stuff. See, I'm pretty sure I have enough material to get to my dimensions that I want of 60 by 180 millimeters. Needs a little bit more drawing out towards the tip there. Oh, nice. That'll be cool. Thank you. This shop is a shared space. It's called Black Cat Metal. It's in Calgary, and I rent space out of it, but there's a few other makers that work here. So you see the taper I'm working on here. I'm trying to aim for 5 millimeters out of the handle and then tapering down to 1 millimeter at this front corner. So a pretty aggressive distal taper, but in the middle section, probably around 2 millimeters. So aggressive tapering and then slow tapering out of that first part, or that end part. Trying to think of other good things I could live stream. Maybe sharpening. Would any of you be interested in watching a sharpening live stream? Yeah, it's really nice. It's got some nice equipment. I brought a lot of my own equipment in, but there's a press which is nice for making the Damascus. Where's your shop out of? Crab Castle Forge. See if I'm getting close to the length here. Yeah, slow forging at this stage. Hi, Mom. Oh, North Carolina, that's cool. I've got some friends over there. Nice. This one's getting really close now. Right here. Your wok is so powerful, I can tell that you hand forage. Yeah, 3/16. This is Pro Cut. I've really been liking Pro Cut. It's been my main steel lately. I think it's the best thing for mono steel. Hand forged blades, it forges decently. Good temperature range, better than 5200. But it's pretty good edge retention, but it's really easy to straighten and work with. No, bye, Mom. But if I had a power hammer, I'd probably do a lot more sand my stuff. And for that, I would use like 26C3 for the core steel or Apex Ultra. Love Apex Ultra. Nice taper on this. Ah, thank you. Yeah, ProCut just came out last year. Also, another new steel I'm going to be trying. When I was at Blade Show this year, I won a draw for some Magnamax. So, new super stainless. I'll be trying to hand forge this as well. This is probably going to be a heck of a time, but hopefully it'll make some cool petty knife out of it. Pretty much just doing the refining forging too, because with the planning, just doing the planishing, evening everything out, I should hit the length that I want to now. So just gonna be doing that, but I got the nice taper and dimensions are really getting there. And then I'll switch back and forge out the tang. And yes, I do like fishing. Haven't gone in a long time. Let's see. 180. $65. Now that'll do. Hello, Colin, in the UK. Here, let's see if this one's also got the dimensions. 180 by 63. I like that. Get this tang finished forged out. I needed some new tongs to hold the drawn out blade better. Got some on the rack over here. Just gotta find the ones I usually use. There we go. Needs a second to heat up. Well, yeah, I've never caught a walleye. I've been out a few times to places that have them, but I usually just catch pike there. That would be fun. I don't know. Like, I could probably make some big fish hooks, but doing the small ones, I feel like that would be a ton of work. Unless I just make it out of like, I don't know, buy like high carbon steel or stainless steel wire, and then just do the sharpen and add the barb with a little chisel. That might work, but I think it's a lot cheaper to just buy fish hooks. But I can make big ones, probably. Yeah, tiring and very hot. I need to forge these tangs out longer, but I don't want to ruin the taper of the blade, so I'm just gonna draw it to a point back here, and the next heat I'll flatten it out and draw it back out again. Yeah, not a bad idea. I don't have as much of heavy forging to do today now, though. The rest is light work compared to the other stuff. Just refinement. One hour in, how's my phone battery doing here? Pretty good. Okay, this will be a good heat here. So you saw last heat how I had it drawn to the point, and then that one squished it back flat, and now it has that taper to it. So you can see the thickest point there is right where the handle is gonna go through. Where the bolster is, that's supposed to be about 5 millimeter. It might be a bit bigger on these ones though. But I aim for 5. Probably like 4.5 to 5.5 is good. And then my Guidos are a bit thinner because they're lighter. Okay, I'm gonna set these two aside. I think these are pretty much good, besides a little more refinement and straightening. But I gotta make sure that the other ones in this batch, I can get out to the same dimension. So this one's a little small, and this one is way short on the height. So I'm gonna forge these two out to try and get them to match. And I'll put these on this, on my forge here. To cool down. Switch back to my other tongs. Yeah, for a dagger, I feel like that's pretty good. Those things are a lot thicker than the kitchen knives. You're gonna try to do a hollow grind. It's cool with those daggers with the 4 hollow grinds in them going towards the thicker point from some pretty thick stock. No? Flat grinds? Chris did a quadruple hollow grind dagger somewhere. I think he already sold it though. It's probably not around here anymore. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I do too. Now this is going to get confusing because both of these ones are a little bit different, so I've got different steps for what I need to do on each of these now. This one seems to be lacking height at the heel. Yeah, a few millimeters shy. Yeah, I think once I get all of this batch ready, they should be done sometime next week. So once I get them finished, I might do a sharpening live stream on all of them. Show you guys how I sharpen my knives. Yeah, they're really thin now. Most of the blade is probably under 2 millimeter or around 2 millimeter. Okay, that's looking a lot better. I think in terms of forging, I'm just about done. I'm also starting to get too hot and tired. Still have more work to do on these, but I think I'll finish them up tomorrow. But before I end the stream, I think I'll take you guys through a look at some of my projects on the go. Here, I'll lay these out on the anvil. So that one, I don't know if this will fit all 6. That one needs work, but I'll refine all these tomorrow. And then these are the 2 that I forged today on stream. On the end here. Oh, I didn't end up forging out the tang on that other one completely. I can do that tomorrow. Oh yeah, no, I saw that where like you can invite someone to do a live stream. I would like to use a flatter. It's kind of hard to do. It's hard to hold them down. If I had someone else in here, I could get them to hold it, and I'd use the flatter. I really wish I had like a fly press or something though. That's really handy for these. But these are the blades here. Two on the end. I forged out today, and those are the rest of them that I'm working on. Here, I'll go turn on the forge. Try not to move you guys around too fast here. But over here is, I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm working on. I've always got so many projects on the go. So here I have, this is one of my benches. These are collaboration pieces with Benjamin Kamen, and I want to get these done to bring to Knife Show Austria. This is I don't know if you can see it. It's a jelly roll clad Apex Ultra Core blade. That one I also will probably bring to Knife Show Austria. Some of my batch knives with the texturing, collaboration with Tobias Hengler. This is some TNT 666. My Damascus and other interesting steels down here. I've got a cool plan for this billet though. This is about 450 layers. The core is twist Damascus, and then the cladding is like an interrupted twist in the opposite direction. This is some more twist. This is stack twist actually. Use that, or no, that's the core twist. Here's some stack twist for some Knife Show Austria projects. And then some little things I was working on. This is raised inlay. So I tried to do some grapes there. It kind of looks like a thing of corn, but doing some inlay, working with non-ferrous metals is pretty fun. I have another one. I was working on a little foraging knife with a little mushroom on it. That's pretty fun. Yeah, kind of looks like a pine cone. But pine cone, corn, grapes, it's all similar in copper. Thank you. I'm trying to remember if I have anything else. So yeah, this is from that custom I showed you. This is something I made from the same billet. This will be a cool little petty knife with an Apex Ultra core and some cool Damascus pattern. I've got a nice block of dark ironwood for the handle. And then, oh yeah, back to my shelf. There's all my handle wood, which I got some really nice Cocobolo pieces here. Well, the mushroom one or the corn? I might. They're both heat treated already. It's just going to be hard to finish the grinding without messing up with the raised inlay there. But if I find time, oh yeah, I like stabilized walnuts pretty nice. I have a ton of Cocobolo right now. I really like that the stabilized Turkish walnut stuff, if you have any with some cool grain. But yeah, I think that's everything. Then just the paring knives. Oh, one really cool project. This is one I made a while ago, and just sadly, the core was not centered very well because it's such a long, wide blade. But this is my Giganticuri that I made in Austria, and this thing is pretty cool. It's super light for how big it is. It's like a 270 millimeter Nakiri with a thin distal taper. Sounds good. Maybe I can check some of that out if I come up for Reynolds. I probably will. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I've got this thing sitting behind my grinder, covered in dust. That's a project that's been in the works for like 4 years. I do want to make a cool sword though. Yeah. Yeah, I've been just like, every once in a while, I'll work on this for just a little bit. So I still have a lot of work on the pommel and handle to do. It's a weird sword. It's a really short sword, but it has like a hand and a half size of handle almost. So it's a little bit awkward looking, but if I narrow it down, it might not be too bad. It'd be cool to do a leather wrap. Yes, I know Jesse. We are actually talking the other day. I met him at Blade Show a couple years ago, and we talk every once in a while. He's a cool guy. He does some really cool projects. His recent video was crazy with the katana, crazy amount of work. But yeah, I think that's it for this stream. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll finish up my day of work here. So, thanks everyone.